welcome to another episode of the Friday Podcast with your host, Chris Chaos in the building. And today is Friday the 13th. My intention was to have this episode released today. However, things happen. As we get older, we get more tired, need more rest, more time to restart. What's interesting is, speaking of rest, I found out because of the Bad Friends podcast, Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino, that the iPhone tracks your steps whether you ask it to or not. Now, this is cool and not cool at the same time. But it is cool, and I looked at it and I noticed that when I go to work, I do a lot more walking. Like, the bar is full. And then when you look on Saturday and Sunday, the bar is like this. But some would argue that rest is necessary. I just know I rested a little too much during the break, but I was also sick at the time. It's been a hectic week. Most definitely. Emotions have been wild. Mercury's in retrograde. Things haven't been working properly. Emotions have been rampant. There was a full moon the other day. And it's just been crazy, man, trying to get back to normality. And it's strange when normality is not normal, because you got like some hot days. And they say this is what Texas is, but I don't remember it being this crazy. Like 80-degree days, and then it'll go to a 50-degree day. But apparently that's how it's always been. I don't think so, but maybe it's the Mandela effect. We come from different times, different earths, different weather patterns. What's been going on? A lot of stuff's been going on. I just saw in podcast news, Matt and Shane's secret podcast. I just saw Matt finally got on Joe Rogan with Shane Gillis, and I bet it's gonna be epic. Right before I took a nap, I saw that picture and I was like, whoa. I took a little nap happy, like that, just because I love Matt and Shane, and Matt, it just serves so much. But they're both hilarious. Shane Gillis was hilarious. So that's cool. What else? Podcast news. People always hating on Brendan Schaub. Andrew Santino just dropped a special called Cheeseburger. What's interesting is, you could tell he was trying to keep both sides of the aisle happy by spitting truth spitting some truth. But some people might be turned off of it. Some people might be turned on to it. But I think he was trying to be in the middle, which is fine for comedy. And he's probably been working on that hour for a minute. He's probably been working on the hour for hundreds and thousands of hours, going around cities and stuff, and and it's good. He talks some shit about Trump, but he also talks some shit about Biden. And he makes jokes, right? He makes a joke about Kamala Harris just pushing Biden so she could be president. And some people online took that as, oh, he wants her to be president. He's just making a joke, man. But one of the funniest things was like you traded an old, out of touch white dude for another old, out of touch white dude. Old white for old white, not a good trade. That was hilarious when he said it. So that dropped. Any other specials? I feel like I watched another special, but I'm not quite sure who dropped it. Obviously, Ari Shaffir's Jew special was amazing. Probably one of the best specials ever. I just saw that Pauly Shore dropped, he has a movie where he pretends to be Al Pacino in Scarface, and Ari Shaffir plays the the drug dealer, the dude who has a thing to, and whenever Pacino has a little thing, but it's Pauly Shore, and it's hilarious. I forgot what it's called though. Allergies have been wild for some reason. Something's in the air. Usually my allergies don't bother me this much, but supposedly hay fever. See, something with the seasons, man. Something with the poles shifting, man. But whatever. We can't do nothing about it. What we can control is ourselves and our emotions. And sometimes even that's hard to control. So don't try to control anybody else or anything else or any other situation. Because just controlling yourself, that's, you got your hands full. I promise you, we all got our hands full. Trying to control our brains. Let's see. Question 2101 from the 3,000 questions about moi. Why does moi sound like moi? Can you do fake accents? If so, which one or ones? They didn't say ones, they just said which one. Let's see. Hello, I'm British, isn't it? No, wait. Hello, I'm British, isn't it? Alright, that's British. What's another one? Conor McGregor. I kind of learned that one from Bad Friends as well. Hey, bato, loco, ese, forever, Holmes. Is that an accent? I think that's an accent. What's another one? Wait, I don't want to get in trouble. Alright, I'm just going to go on. What home design trend do you love? Home design trend? What the fudge? A home design trend. Let me turn this down while I think about a home design trend that I care about. Shout out to Guyaki. Had to switch it up, get rid of that carbonate. Because then I found out not just carbonated drinks are bad for your bones, but apparently they're bad for your gut health. Like, what the fuck? Like, if you drink, like, it messes with the acid. It's already too much acid, and then you're just adding, or you're neutralizing the acid, or some shit, I don't know. Some crazy shit that's for some reason makes sense. Okay. Home design trend. I can't think of any freaking home design trends that I care about. Let's see. I don't like the new trend of turning shipping containers into homes. That seems dumb. Like, hasn't everybody heard the story of the big bad wolf and the three pigs? Like, those storage containers are gonna blow the fuck away when a big bad wolf comes and huffs and puffs. But he got a brick and mortar house. I mean, we all know the fucking story. What do you feel very protective of? My son, my peace, my soul. Have you ever loved two people at one time and were conflicted about whom to choose? You know what? Nah. I've only ever been in, like, I'm only in love with one person at a time. Now, when I was younger, it was puppy love or whatever, right? But I felt in love. And then I would cheat, but I wouldn't be in love with the person that I would cheat with. It was still only one person that I was in love with, and I just was creeping. Creeping like a creeper. What do you compartmentalize in your life? That's heavy. Compartmentalize in my life. What does it even mean? So let's see. Compartmentalize. My trauma, I guess, is what they're thinking. Like, you know, I got like a little compartments, right? Like I said, I got little shelves. And what you pull out one compartment is dad trauma. Pull out another one that's girl trauma. From girls. And this one's from bully trauma. And this one is What kind of trauma? This is the anxiety. This is sport trauma, and there's just all these different compartments. What is your most favorite random fact? What? So the first one that comes to mind is that fluoride can calcify the pineal glands, which doesn't make any sense to most people, but supposedly we have this thing in our brain. That's like our third eye. It's shaped like a third eye, and it's in our brain though. And apparently the fluoride, which is waste, which I just saw a truck in Garland that was like colored red, white, and blue with stars and shit when I was on my way home, and it was pretty tight. I gotta respect it. But it also had a bunch of things saying that fluoride is poison, and we don't need fluoride in our water, and Dallas for clean water, and that shit was pretty tight. So yeah, I guess it's my favorite. Fluoride is a fucking poison, and we don't need to drink it. Who is the strangest person you've ever met? Are you a drama king? Yes, sometimes. I can be. Have you ever been in a fight? Yes, a couple fights. Lost most of them. The very few that I've been in, pretty sure I lost every single one of them. I think there was 3. What do you dislike most about the current city you live in? Nothing. Nothing at all, man. I love it, mine. Do you let your conscience guide you? I believe so, yes, for the most part. I even have a cricket that follows me everywhere I go. And I am a real boy. Have you ever wielded a sword? Not just held, wielded. I have not. And that is something I need to do. That's on my fucking bucket list. Wielding a sword, not just holding both. Wielding. When have you answered someone's cry for help? So one time there was this baby possum that was just crying in the middle of the cement in the backyard, and he was just like, ah. He wasn't like that. I don't know how he was making, but I was like, oh shit, this fool's gonna die or something. So I kind of put him in a towel and put him in a shoebox and put him in my room, and I was like, this dude's gonna, maybe he'll live. And then, but whenever my mom and sister found out, they're like, get that shit out of here, because it looked like a rat. I'm like, man, y'all are stupid. What's crazy is so I put the thing outside, right? And I thought maybe its mom will come back and get it. But no, the next day it was fucking eaten by ants. Looked freaky. Poor baby. But what's interesting is on Bob's Burgers that season, they had an episode that was just like that. Talk about, like, they saved a little rat. Bob did, and he fell in love with it. Do you often help people when they ask, or does there have to be something in it for you? No. I work with kids, and they're always asking for something. Can you tie my shoes? Can you put this over here? Can you help me with this? And can you help me with that? And they're doing this, so when I help, it's not because they can do anything for me. And sometimes I don't even ask. I just say, hey, let me tie your shoes so you're not falling everywhere. What is the most unusual name you've ever heard of? Oh, there was this one kid named Al Pacino, like Al Pacino. That's the only one I can think of right now. It was just ridiculous. Al Pacino. You know, there was this one time where there was these 2 boys. They were twins, and they had the same name, essentially. But one in the middle name said De Guadalupe, and the other one didn't. So it's like, that's how you know. I'm just like, what? Okay. Also, Chris Chaos. What kind of fucking stupid ass name is that? No, just kidding. All right, this week. So, Since it's Friday the 13th, and I didn't even realize that when I printed this out, but then I saw that it was. I wanted to see what the spirit animal of a black cat is, because in the past couple of days, I've had a couple black cats pass by me or whatever, like, you know, and it's interesting. I've done cat symbolism, but I wanted to specifically look at black cats, because, you know, they get a bad rap. Black cat, bad rap. Whatismyspiritanimal.com says, you would do well to remember that the color black represents authority, elegance, and adaptability. All of these attributes are part of the black cat totem. Uniguide.com says that black cats also symbolize peacefulness, because cats by nature are tranquil souls, and black is a particularly calming color. Tuxedo-cat.co.uk says, in the spiritual sense, a black cat represents good fortune, prosperity, and protection, so seeing one is actually a good thing. Allaboutcats.com says it's believed that keeping a black cat in your home can even offer you protection from dark or evil spirits. AskMyCats.com says that the black cat symbolizes wealth and fortune, and used to be considered with high self-esteem. MillersGuild.com says that black cats came to be seen as a blessing, bringing wealth in the form of heavy harvests. AngelMeaning.com, now if you don't know what a harvest is, that means that a lot of shit grew, and you reap what you sow, and you sowed very well. AngelMeaning.com says that the black cat symbolizes hope, rebirth, and the power to transform your life. It's time to take action or incorporate it into your life. CastleofChaos.com says many cultures believe, as we said earlier, that black cats attract wealth and good fortune. SpiritualUnite.com says that black cat symbolizes mystery. Who doesn't love some mystery? Deep emotions and intuition. There's that third eye we were talking about earlier. Wait, is intuition here and here in your stomach? I don't know. MyMiniPanther.com, what a cool name, says in Eastern cultures, some see the black cat as a sort of spiritual guardian. The belief is that the cat acts as a sponge, absorbing bad luck and taking the burden off of you. A to Z Animals, which is a-z-animals.com, says if you see a black cat, it means a change is coming. Black cats are often seen as omens of impending change. This could be incredible or maybe a little difficult, but even difficulty can be a blessing in disguise. All right. Angel number 464. Now, I got these at work, so it was limited. Like, I can't use DuckDuckGo. I have to use Google. I can't click on a lot of websites. I only used one for the angel number. That's all right. So, Sacred Scribes, angelnumbers.blogspot.com. Angel number 464 is a combination of the energies and vibrations of number 4 and number 6, with 4 appearing twice, amplifying its influences. 4 resonates with working steadily towards goals and aspirations, truth and integrity, practicality, system and order, self-initiation, building solid foundations, and enthusiasm coupled with determination. 4 also relates to the energies of the archangels. 6 relates to love of home and family and domesticity. Service to others and selflessness, as we were talking about earlier. Be doing something for somebody when they can't do nothing for you back. Grace and gratitude, responsibility and reliability, providing for the self and others. 6 also resonates with personal willpower, initiative, action, and overcoming obstacles. 464 may be a warning from your angels that your focus is too much on the material world. Surrender your concerns and worries about your financial status and or circumstances to the angels so that they can intervene on your behalf. I don't know if they'll intervene with the IRS for me, but the energy of stress and worry repels the universal energies of abundance and prosperity. So keep a positive and optimistic attitude to enable your angels to work their magic into your life. 464 suggests that if you have been going through a trying or difficult situation, resolution will be found in divine time, in divine right time. Take your steps with caution and consideration and expect good outcomes in your life. Rearrange the way you see your life and allow miracles to happen. Focusing on the positive allows you to release fears, anxieties, and worries, which bring balance and peace of mind. Be patient and feel gratitude for miraculous solutions to appear in your life as your positive beliefs and faith and trust in the divine creates favorable results and outcomes. Yeah, that resonates with me so much because I was having stress earlier this year and it ended up working out. 464 is a message to stay grounded and focused, knowing that your angels surround and support you as you work on your life, purpose, and path. Your angels ask that you move forward in your life with faith and trust and know that all you will ever need will be supplied. All right, so this is my dream interpretation of the week. I had a dream that I broke a bong. If you don't know what that is, a water pipe is what you're supposed to call it. Now, I try to look it up and see what I could find. So, Auntie Flo, without the W.com says, to dream of breaking a glass object, it could be a reflection of the need in your waking life to release some desires and suppressed emotions. Interesting. That kind of. Dreamsopedia.com says to dream about broken pipe. To dream about a broken pipe is a sign for changes, transformation, and healing. You are being propelled to a position of power and or life might be passing you by. Dreammeaningsdictionary.com says to see a bong in dream is a sign for sickness, a recovery from a sickness, a journey, birth, success, and money based on your current situation in life. When I had it, it was before I got the flu, or it was during the flu. I think I had the flu when I had the dream. Interesting. NLCBresults.com says to see or smoke a bong in your dreams suggests that you are not confronting your feelings head on. You are trying to downplay your own emotions. I do that a lot. Dreamforth.com says to dream about glass represents tranquility. To dream about glass, represents tranquility or safety. You could be building a wall around you so that you don't get hurt in relationships. Dreammanity.com says that a bong in a dream may be representative of feeling hindered, questioning your state of mind, or weight on the chest or on the mind. And last but not least, dreaminterpretation.co says that seeing cannabis in a dream symbolizes pleasure addiction, lustfulness, and gaining advantage. I take that all with a grain of weed. A grain of salt, but, it's pretty interesting. All right, we'll be right back with Anxiety News. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Anxiety News. News about anxiety. This week, our source comes from yahoo.com. Yahoo! 5 unexpected health issues that may be caused by anxiety, experts say. And they dropped this on Monday, January 9th, 2023 at 7:04 a.m. CST. 4-minute read. Everyone feels anxious from time to time, but if it is a constant in your life, It can become debilitating in many ways. Around 6.8 million adults, or 3.1% of the population, have generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD. Yet, according to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, ADA, only around 43% are receiving treatment. Anxiety manifests with panic and physical unease for most people, but it can also cause other unexpected health issues that you may not realize are related. Read on to see, or listen on to see what happens in your body that could be caused by anxiety, according to health experts. Number 1, chronic pain. And no, we're not talking about the chronic 2001, my friends. Chronic as in constant. Unfortunately, individuals struggling with anxiety disorders are usually no strangers to chronic pain. They are often linked together because of how much anxiety manifests within the body. GAD is the most commonly diagnosed anxiety disorder in chronic pain populations, reports the National Library of Medicine, which is the NIH, which doesn't make sense. The coexistence of pain and anxiety is perhaps not surprising. Both signal impending danger and the necessity for action, which confer survival value to the individual. Pain? Joanna Briggs, a registered nurse and medical consultant at Jugo Feed, suggests that chronic pain is caused by the inflammation that anxiety and stress triggers within you. Inflammation from the stress response is one of the most common causes of chronic pain. It affects the entire body. Anxiety also causes people to hyper-focus on the pain, making chronic pain even more debilitating. Chronic pain is something you should never ignore. ADA recommends using cognitive behavioral therapy, breathing techniques, progressive muscle relaxation, and exercise to help with chronic pain symptoms. Those are good. Number 2, headaches and migraines. The stress, lack of sleep, and constant muscle tension associated with anxiety can contribute to anxiety headaches, says Briggs. Yes, earlier this week, a parenting issue, as in me being a parent and having a teenager issue. I started thinking hard. How am I going to get through this? What are we going to do? What are we going to say? What's the right thing to say? How do I say it? When do I say it? Started getting a headache that day. According to ADAA, headaches can be a common symptom and sometimes a good indicator of an anxiety disorder, particularly generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD. They like putting labels on stuff. I mean, I guess it helps. Yeah, I see both sides of the argument. And chronic co-occurring headaches can make functioning even more difficult for someone with an anxiety disorder. 3, insomnia. I sleep too much. Picture this. It's midnight and you have to wake up by 6 a.m. But instead of falling asleep with ease, you are wrecked with anxious thoughts about, well, everything, including not getting enough sleep. According to Sleep Foundation, anxiety is frequently connected to sleeping problems. Excess worry and fear make it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep through the night. Sleep deprivation can worsen anxiety, spurring a negative cycle involving insomnia and anxiety disorders. Lack of sleep can also affect other parts of your body, leading to more problemos. Anxiety can cause difficulty sleeping, leading to insomnia, did I already say that one? Oh, no, I didn't. Which can have its own set of physical health issues, such as a weakened immune system, increased risk of obesity, high blood pressure, and an increased risk of depression and other mental health issues, says Alyssa Roberts, senior writer at Practical Psychology. Number 4, high blood pressure. Anxiety can also play a part in spiking our blood pressure, which can cause a host of other issues. Episodes of anxiety can cause dramatic temporary spikes in blood pressure, reports the Mayo Clinic. What does the Mustard Clinic's got to say about that? And if those temporary spikes occur frequently, such as every day, they can cause damage to blood vessels, the heart and kidneys, as can chronic high blood pressure. Everyday anxiety is something that should be taken seriously. Not only does it cause immediate distress, it may lead to a larger heart problems if left untreated. Anxiety causes a pro-inflammatory state and is associated with an increased risk of high blood pressure. If left uncontrolled, it can even contribute to developing coronary heart disease, says Briggs. And last but not least, I know this one for sure. Digestive problems. If you can't tell, I wrote my belly weight on here. Many of us have experienced that uneasy feeling in our stomachs when we're about to speak in front of hundreds of people or finish up a major assignment. But for folks who have anxiety, this can be a daily occurrence. Anxiety can manifest as digestive issues such as nausea, vomiting, yes, bloating, diarrhea, yes, constipation and acid reflux, yes, says Nathan Fisher, owner of Achieve Health and Wellness. These can be caused by an increase in stress hormones, which can increase motility in the digestive tract, causing these systems. The rising of anxiety levels can also exacerbate digestive diseases like IBS. Those that experience digestive problems from anxiety can then become anxious about the symptoms. This increases anxiety levels and can turn into more digestive problems. Yeah, when I was younger, I had a lot of anxiety, and I would have stomach issues, and I ended up getting gastritis because of that. But I didn't know that was why. Interesting. Okie dokie. Now, movie review of the week. So during the break, I subscribed to Paramount Plus. I resubscribed to Hulu. Got back on Netflix. I think that's it. Those are the only ones. I almost thought about getting on HBO Max, but I was like, that's too much. I don't need it. And the only reason I got Paramount Plus was for the Ninja Turtles. But on Hulu, there's a movie with Andy Samberg. Oh, that's what the next week I need to do Hot Rod. But this week, we're doing Palm Springs, a 2020 movie. Produced and starring Andy Samberg, also including J.K. Simmons. Let's see, Limelight Productions. Hulu. Release date January 26, 2020 at Sundance. July 10, 2020 US. March 4, 2021 Hong Kong. Running time 90 minutes. Budget $5 million. Box office $1.5 million. So was it a flop? I don't know, but it's very, very good. So Palm Springs is a 2020 American science fiction romantic comedy film. Whoa. Science fiction romantic comedy. Directed by Mark Barbacow in his feature directorial debut from a screenplay by Andy Ciara. It stars Andy Samberg, who co-produced the film, Kristen Milioti, and J.K. Simmons, and follows two strangers who meet at a wedding in Palm Springs, only to get stuck in a time loop. Palm Springs had its world premiere at the Sundance Film Festival and was simultaneously released on Hulu and in select theaters by Neon. The film was praised for the cast performances and its use of the concept. At the 78th Golden Globe Awards, it earned 2 nominations: Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, and Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy for Samberg. Among other accolades, it won Best Comedy at the 26 Critics' Choice Awards. I never even heard of this movie. Director Max Barbacow and screenwriter Andy Ciara came up with the idea as students at the American Film Institute, with an equal eye on Jungian philosophical ideas and the pragmatic importance of writing a small-budget film that would be easy to produce. They imagined the script as an absurdist, comedic mumblecore take on leaving Las Vegas, centered on a despondent 30-something who travels to Palm Springs to kill himself, only to slowly rediscover a sense of meaning in his life. When Sierra went on to write for the television show Lodge 49, they redeveloped the script into a more ambitious project with a sci-fi edge. While Groundhog Day was a fundamentally important starting point for the use of a time loop in a romantic comedy, Barbacao and Sierra knew they needed to distance their script from that film. This led to starting with Niles already within the time loop, making the film like a sequel to a movie that doesn't exist, according to Sierra, and then adding Sarah as a second character within the loop to serve as a point of navigation for the audience. Whoa. The project was announced in November of 2018 after it secured a tax credit to film in Cali. However, given the limitations of that tax credit, they were forced to film in LA rather than Palm Springs. Andy Samberg was announced as starring in the film in March 2019. Kristen Milioti and J.K. Simmons joined the cast. Camila Mendez was added in April. Filming began in April of 2019 and lasted for 21 days. Not bad. Shots featured the Cabazon dinosaurs. Palm Springs had its world premiere at the Sundance. I already said that. Hulu reportedly paid $17,500,000 for the film, breaking the previous record for the highest sale of a film from Sundance by 69 cents. Whoa. Later reports put the deal closer to $22 million after guarantees were factored in. The film was released in the U.S. digitally on Hulu and select drive-in theaters in 2020 on July 10th. So this is mid-pandemic. Hulu claimed that the film also set the opening weekend record by netting more hours watched over its first 3 days than any other film in the platform's history. In August of 2020, it was reported that 8.1% of subscribers had watched the film over its first month. In November, Variety reported the film was the 26th most watched straight-to-streaming title of 2020 up to that point. In January, a commentary cut of the film featuring Samberg, Milioti, Barbacao, and Sierra was released. Hulu claimed it was the first such release by a streaming service. So not only was this movie funny, heartwarming, it made you think. It was interesting. The sci-fi made you want. It was like, whoa, it was like Interstellar type shit in a way, but less. Like, not as like, whoa, what the fuck? It also broke records. It was the first of many things, and it was successful as a first director's movie during the pandemic. So that's gotta mean something. Okay, now I'm going to take one last break, drink some water, and do Badass Woman in Herstory and freestyle possibly. We shall see. Be back. Wait, my bad. I got my trumpet. Badass Women at Herstory. This week, my friends. Sorry, I got something in my throat. Hopefully that's the last one. Because before this, I was just coughing and... Alright. So I saw this one on Instagram. I wish I could give credit to the person who I saw covering it. But I don't remember. But we're going to talk about Sarah Rector, also known as Sarah Rector Campbell and Sarah Campbell Crawford. R.I.P. to my homeboy Crawford that passed away during the pandemic. Oh, my hair's getting long. It's starting to curl up in the back. I might have to cut it or something. Let's see. So, she was a Creek freedwoman and oil magnate, once known as the richest colored girl in the world. I'm not saying, that's what they said. Sarah Rector was born in 1902 near the all-black town of Taft, located in the eastern portion of Oklahoma in what was then Indian Territory. She had 5 siblings. Yo, that first sentence right there, there was an all-black town called Taft in Oklahoma. If there was one, then there was probably multiple, including Black Wall Street. Rector's parents, Rose McQueen and her husband Joseph Rector, both born 1881, were the black grandchildren of Creek Indians before the Civil War and were descendants of the Muskogee Creek Nation after the Treaty of 1866. As such, they and their descendants were listed as freedmen on the Daze roll, by which they were entitled to land allotments under the Treaty of 1866 made by the United States with the 5 civilized tribes. Sarah Rector was allotted 159.14 acres, or 64 hectares. This was a mandatory step in the process of integration of the Indian Territory with Oklahoma Territory to form what is now the state of Oklahoma. Sarah's father, Joseph, was the son of John Rector, a Creek freedman. John Rector's father, Benjamin McQueen, was enslaved by Riley Grayson, who was a Creek Indian. John Rector's mother, Molly McQueen, was the Muskogee Apotheliola, who fought in the Seminole Wars and split with the tribe, moving his followers to Kansas. Actually, that's the movie we're doing next week. I'm going to have to do Hot Rod another week. I think it's called Kansas, something like that. Oil strike and wealth. The parcel allotted to Sarah Rector was located in Glenpool, 60 miles from where she and her family lived. It was considered inferior and fertile soil, not suitable for farming, with better land being reserved for white settlers and members of the tribe. The family lived simply but not in poverty. However, the $30 annual property tax on Sarah's parcel was such a burden that her father petitioned the Muskogee County Court to sell the land. His petition was denied because of certain restrictions placed on the land, so he was required to continue paying the taxes. To help cover this expense, in February 1911, Joseph Rector leased Sarah's parcel to the Standard Oil Company. In 1913, the independent oil driller B.B. Jones drilled a well on the property which produced a gusher that began to bring in 2,500 barrels of oil a day. Rector began to receive a daily income of $300 from the strike. The law at that time required full-blooded Indians, black adults, and children who were citizens of Indian Territory with significant property and money to be assigned well-respected white guardians. Thus, as soon as Rector began to receive this windfall, there was pressure to change Rector's guardianship from her parents to a local white resident named TJ or JT Porter, an individual known to the family. Rector's allotment subsequently became part of the Cushing Drumright oil field. In October of 1913, Rector received royalties of $11,567. As news of Rector's wealth spread worldwide, she began to receive requests for loans, money gifts, and marriage proposals, despite the fact that she was only 12 years old. Given her wealth, in 1913, the Oklahoma legislature made an effort to have her declared white, allowing Rector to reap the benefits of her elevated social standing, such as riding in a first-class car on the trains. Wow. In 1914, an African-American journal, the Chicago Defender, began to take an interest in Rector, just as rumors began to fly that she was a white immigrant who was being kept in poverty. The newspaper published an article claiming that her estate was being mismanaged by her family and that she was uneducated and had poor quality of life. This caused national African American leaders Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois to become W.E.B. Du Bois to become concerned about her welfare. In June of that year, a special agent of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, James C. Waters Jr., sent a memo to Du Bois regarding her situation. But Waters had been corresponding with the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the United States Children's Bureau over concerns regarding the mismanagement of Rector's estate. He wrote of her white financial guardian. It is not possible to have her cared for in a decent manner and by people of her own race instead of by a member of a race who would deny her and her kind the treatment accorded a good yard dog. This prompted Du Bois to establish the Children's Department of the NAACP, which would investigate claims of white guardians who were suspected of depriving black children of their land and wealth. Washington also intervened to help the Rector family. In October of that year, she was enrolled in the Children's School, a boarding school at the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, headed by Washington. Upon graduation, she attended the institute. Rector was already a millionaire by the time she had turned 18 in 1920. She owned stocks, bonds, a boarding house, businesses, and a 2,000-acre piece of prime river bottomland. At that point, she left Tuskegee and with her entire family moved to Kansas City, Missouri. She purchased a house on 12th Street known as the Rector House, which is currently owned by a local nonprofit with the intention of restoration and historical and cultural preservation. Soon after moving to Kansas City, when she was 17 or 18, she married local businessman Kenneth Campbell in 1920. The wedding was a very private affair with only her mother and Campbell's paternal grandmother present. The couple had 3 sons before divorcing in 1930. In 1934, she married restaurant owner William Crawford. Rector lived a comfortable life and with a taste for fine clothing and cars, enjoyed her wealth. She threw lavish parties and entertained celebrities such as Count Basie and Duke Ellington. She passed on July 22nd, 1967 at the age of 65. She interred in Blackjack Cemetery in her childhood hometown of Taft. Where's the movie? They need to make a fucking movie. Man. Alright. One more break. We're going to come back. I'm going to try to freestyle some shit and we're going to bounce the fuck up out of here. Yeah. Alright. Man, I got allergies. About to leave a couple of fucking casualties. And I'm hungrier than a fat motherfucker up at Applebee's. And I'm stacking cheese like Mickey D's on some french fries. What it do, man? I'm a fucking G. Coming through with a motherfucking mic and it's fucking blue. And I gotta stay true to the squad, to the fam. You know what it is, and I gotta keep it popping. Always for the biz, and you know the name's Chris, and Chaos is the last name. Fuck the fame, I need the money. I ain't trying to be funny. Oh wait, I am, cause comedy is something that goes hand in hand with rapping. Man, I'm snapping and attacking. You hoes slacking. Better back it up before I attack the truck where your boyfriend's at. I don't really give a fuck, cause my real name is Chaos. And I'ma keep going through and you way off. If you thinking that it's gonna pay off when you hate it back. You can't take it back. I'm the motherfucking king. And you a joker, but you ain't funny. Yeah, you poker, but you a dummy. And she be thinking about me when she running. Honey, you don't even know Every time I drop a flow, her panties drop to the floor, and they get soaked and wet. Man, I bet you I make a bet that she might let me pet that kitty cat. Man, I make a split splat all over the track, cause I'm a king jack, king attacker. Keep going on, I'm a smacker. On the booty, got the duty. What it do? Call me Woody and Buzz. I don't know what the fuck. I love y'all. See y'all next week. Hopefully I'm on time. If not, you know what's coming. I'm homo. And if you are homo, it's all good. I love y'all too. Peace.